and get ready for the workday.
Fall is a season of change, but at Postman Law, one thing never changes: results. With no out-of-pocket expense to you, we deliver with speed, ease, and results. Call 844-POSTMAN now. This is attorney advertising.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Thinking about buying a home in Colorado? You're not the only one, and now might be your best shot. We're officially in a buyer's market, which means you've got the upper hand. More homes are on the market, competition is down, and serious deals are out there just waiting to be found. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking to upgrade or downsize, now's the time to get pre-approved. And American Financing can make that happen in 24 hours or less. And here's the kicker. When you work with both American Financing and their partner American Home Agents, you can receive a credit on closing costs of up to 1% or a max of $10,000 on your home loan. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, it's time to step in, and American Financing is the place to start. Don't let the 20% down myth stop you. You could buy a home with as little as 3% down, and with down payment assistance programs available, getting into a home might be easier than you think. Pick up the phone, call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Snow is coming and Silterhar Motors is ready, stocked up on a boatload of Broncos sports built for adventure in rain, sleet, or snow. Only at Silterhar Motors, buy a 2025 Broncos sport for only $25,999 or lease for only $299 per month. Silterhar has the top selection with over 1,000 new and used vehicles available to choose from 5 different brands, all at one location. See their complete inventory of new and used vehicles at sthmotors.com. Silterhar Motors. Get everything you want out of a dealership.
A very nice couple I know came into the bank the other day. They brought their children, both dressed in Halloween costumes. The mother said they just couldn't wait to show off their outfits. They're so excited. This is Jay Rickstrew for Alpine Bank, member FDIC. The little boy wore a black cape. "I'm Dracula," he said. "I have fangs." I smiled, "But I don't bite. I just want candy." The little girl, dressed like Cinderella, she said, "My mom says Alpine Bank believes in kids and the dreams coming true." I told her she was right. Alpine Bank does everything it can to help people be happier and better off. I asked the little girl why she was wearing tennis shoes instead of glass slippers. She said, "Glass slippers make my feet sweat." Smart girl.
Cool nights are here and winter is on the way. Protect your home with the strength and beauty of Infinity by Marvin Windows from Gravina's Window Center of Littleton. This month only, save 25% on windows and 20% on James Hardy siding. With flexible financing, no interest options, and 0 down. Upgrading has never been easier. Call today at 303-794-0490 or go to windowsforyourhome.com. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, trusted by Colorado families for over 50 years.
Need a plumber? Euro Plumbing has the lowest prices in town. Rock bottom prices on whole house repipes, sewer line repairs, even water heaters. 720-500-3000.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight, taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports from your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more. DenverSports.com.
And with that, we welcome you into Denver Sports Tonight. We will take you from 6 to 7. 6, 7. Dante. Yeah. Right? Are you on that front? You doing it? You doing the dance?
I mean, ironically, I guess maybe, but not even.
Means absolutely nothing, but my kids have been doing it for the last couple months, so.
I was going to say, how old are your kids?
14 and 18.
Okay.
So it's
how
been.
How mad did they get at you when you do it?
I still haven't really done it. I haven't gotten it. I mean, that might be my first one, my first drop right there.
Is it? Okay.
6-7 here doing Denver Sports Tonight with the Mez, Dante Gomez behind the glass, and yourself on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. Does that mean they're the right age should be doing it? Because I think it's viral everywhere now.
Yeah, I think I would guess, I don't know. I mean, I'm I'm a lot too old for that, but I would guess it's like middle school age.
There you go.
That feels like old enough to like understand meme culture, but not too old to think it's like already cringy and out of style.
Yeah. All right. We have a pretty packed hour for you, Dante. Obviously, we'll start off with the Denver Broncos, but it is that time of year. About halfway through this segment, we'll kind of switch gears and get into the Fall Classic and the history that's being made, not only with an 18-inning game, and we've seen that before. In fact, you saw it, I think, in 2018, right? The
Dodgers-Red Sox.
Dodgers-Red Sox. Dodgers go up 2-1. That game's first pitch is in minutes, if it's not already started. We'll spend some time on that. But the real question I want to throw out there, and I want to throw it out to the text line as well, is it's easy to be critical of your team. It's easy to be, they looked like hell in London. It took a miraculous fourth quarter for the Denver Broncos to come back and beat the New York Giants and Jackson Dart and Cam Scatteraboo. And what are they going to do against this high-powered offense in which Dak Prescott, and believe me, I fell victim of it too. I was saying he's putting up MVP-style numbers offensively. The Broncos put the beat down on the Cowboys. So now we get into that rare kind of situation where you're either completely on board and think that this team can beat anybody on any given Sunday, and the legitimacy of the preseason comments are starting to reign a little bit heavier, or you're still cautiously optimistic. This is like that, to relate to like a dating analogy. You've been dating for a while. You don't see any red flags, no major issues, but you're still not ready to commit, Dante. So I want to know from Broncos country, where do you stand? After that game, I think this is one of those this is a, third world problem? First world problem for us to have to be like, I don't know if I'm completely on board yet or not. I think I'm there. And I'm also going to ask you this, Dante. If you're there with the Denver Broncos as a team, where are you at when it comes to Bo Nix? And are you ready to label him the franchise quarterback? Because I know a lot of people are still cautious about doing that, still want to see more. I have some interesting numbers to give you, but I want to get your take on it first.
As far as the Broncos go, I'm in. I think this team's capable of winning the Super Bowl. I think they can beat any team on any given Sunday, especially if you give them a home field advantage, which it looks like that's what they're on their way of doing here in the playoffs, either winning the division, maybe getting a first and second round home field advantage there. To me, there's no reason this team can't win the AFC. I think the NFC provides a different challenge. I think there's some really good teams over there. And the AFC might shape up to be a little bit better than what we've seen so far, with the Ravens coming back and looking a little bit better. The Bills had a very impressive performance. They still haven't really, proved it against any legitimate teams, but we've seen what the Bills have done over the last 3-4 years here. So I think they're always a threat as well. But I think this Broncos team is in the same tier as, tier 1 in the AFC. I think that's fair to say. I think maybe the Colts are in there, but I'm not really buying the Colts completely either.
Yeah.
I would take this Broncos team over the Colts, even if the game's in Indianapolis.
The Colts seem to me like, and I said this on Sunday morning with Kyle Reese, is it's like the only comp that I can really kind of come up with is maybe the 99 Rams, the greatest show on turf. Now, they're not quite as flashy, but offensively, if you really break down what the Indianapolis Colts are doing offensively, dude, it's. I'm not saying they're as flashy passing the football, because they're not. But to have like a journeyman quarterback, you remember Kurt Warner wasn't supposed to be the starting quarterback of that team. Trent Green was supposed to be the starting quarterback of that team. They brought Daniel Jones in just to compete with Anthony Richardson, and then he goes on and wins the job. And they're sitting at, what are they, 6-1 or 7-1?
I think they're 7-1. I don't know if they've had their bye yet, but.
But I'm still with you. It's like, I don't know that they pass the eye test. They don't pass the confetti test for me. And maybe that comes in November. Maybe that comes when you're like, now they've proven it for well over half of a football season. You have to start taking them very serious. But we saw them week 2. The Broncos were a leverage call away from winning that game. Otherwise, they would have another loss under their belt. I just go back to yes, the Broncos are good enough to do that. But your thought on Bo Nix, where do you sit on that? Are you ready to crown him in that position or no?
Real quick on the Colts, they kind of remind me of the Vikings of last year, where it's they're good, but are we really trusting this team in the playoffs? So the Colts to me could go, what would it be, 16-1, and I still don't know if I'm buying them in the playoffs.
That's a good comp. It's a good comp because then Darnold kind of came back to earth late.
Exactly. It's one of those you got to show me in the playoffs. But as far as Bo Nix goes, I'm not quite ready to say he's the franchise quarterback. It's one of those where, let's say, Adam Schefter, breaking news, Broncos signed Bo Nix to 4 years, $180 million contract. I wouldn't hate the contract. I wouldn't say that's a terrible idea, but I'm not quite ready to – I wouldn't be quite ready to hand over that kind of contract myself at this point. So I still need to just see it a little bit more. And with Nix, it's kind of similar to the Colts. I don't know if there's too much more he could prove to me as far as regular season goes. I'd want to see it in the playoffs. And whether that's him playing well and the Broncos lose, that could prove it to me, or just the Broncos winning and he plays, good enough to win the game. I think that would prove it to me too. So I need to see a playoff win from Nix before I'm fully ready to crown him as the Broncos franchise quarterback.
Do you think Justin Herbert's a franchise quarterback?
Yes.
Does he have a playoff victory?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Joe, what are you doing? Why do you got to make holes in my argument?
Listen, I get you, and I get it, and it's fair to look at it that way. I'll fire back with another question, Dante. If you could redraft the 2024 draft, in what would the order change at all?
Oh yeah, everything's changing.
Okay, give me where your order would go. In fact, you don't even have to give me the 6 quarterbacks. Just tell me where Bo Nix would have ranked in the selection of 6.
Third.
Okay.
I would go Drake May 1, Caleb Williams 2, Bo Nix 3.
And Jaden Daniels 4.
4, and then what are we still missing?
We have McCarthy and Penix.
Yes, yeah. So yeah,
they're kind of still on the outside because there's not enough to kind of review them.
Yes.
I think with Nix, Daniels, and May, they've played majority of their career so far. I know May didn't start right away, but he played a lot last year, and he's off to a phenomenal start this year. If I told you out of all those quarterbacks that through this point in their career, who was leading with most touchdowns, who would you say?
I would guess Jaden Daniels probably.
Nope. It's your guy, Bo Nix. 52 total touchdowns, Dante. Second closest is Jaden Daniels with 40, so he's 12 ahead of him. And I know
is that rushing as well or just passing?
Yeah, it's total touchdowns.
Oh, everything. Okay.
Passing, rushing, and then Bo Nix even has a receiving touchdown to throw on top of that. So it's Nix at 40, Nix at 52. Jaden Daniels is second with 40. He's missed some times. Otherwise, that would probably be a little bit higher, but maybe 44, 45. I still don't think he's sniffing where Bo Nix is at. Drake May's at 34. And Caleb Williams at 31. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy has not played enough to be even register on that, and Penix is still kind of out. I think he has 8 total touchdowns or something at this point. So is that to me, when I saw that stat today, I'm like, why are we waiting?
Well, to me, it's not about comparing him to his class. It's comparing him to what an NFL starting quarterback is and what a franchise quarterback is.
I know, what would you say Drake May is?
No, not yet.
What about Daniels? Because I think a lot of people
not yet.
Wow.
Well, Daniels 4th in my quarterback list.
I know,
so
but after
that
that season that he had last year, I think a lot of people were like,
I saw Vince Young be on the cover of Madden after his rookie year and then not get a second contract.
That's fair. It's fair. We saw Drew Lock play pretty well for a short amount of time. I'm just saying we're basically a season and a half in, and he's obliterating his competition as far as total touchdowns. And this is with him
his competition. Whatever.
This is with the very slow start to this season. Am I right? I mean,
no, you're right. But to me, his competition's not his draft class. It's the 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'm saying it's pretty damn hard to score touchdowns in the NFL, and he's doing it at a way higher clip than the rest of the people that were much higher rated than he was.
No, and that's fair. I'm not taking away from Bo Nix. I just think I need to see it in the playoffs. I'd like to see a playoff win before I give him a contract like that.
I'm crowning him. I think it's it, man. I think he is the real deal.
I don't even hate that take. Like I said, if it came out with breaking news that he's getting a new contract here, extension, I don't think it's a terrible I think that's a much better contract than what the Broncos gave Russell Wilson without playing him down of Bronco football here. I would much rather give Bo something here than what the Broncos did with Russ.
And I don't know, and I don't want that to come off sounding like, I think I was at that realization for a while. I don't want it to come off like, oh, they had a great game against Dallas. I'm not putting a huge amount of stock into that one game. I'm going over all the whole season last year, and even though that he hasn't played up to what we all think he should have been doing so far to this season, his numbers are still pretty dang good. Like, if this is as bad as it gets, if this is him struggling, just wait till he frickin' excels. Because then the comments that Sean Payton made about being a top 4 or 5 quarterback, it's a slam dunk, which is funny, though, because a week ago, I thought that commentary was just comical. 3 quarters into that Giants game, I'm like, it's over, man. What's going on here? But when you sit back and you kind of pump the brakes a little bit, you take the whole picture, and you don't have tunnel vision into just one game or 1 quarter or 3 quarters. I think it's there, and for as close as they've been, as far as like finding their groove or their chemistry, maybe the last 5 quarters are what we've been looking for. And now we get to see it actually go in and week out. A lot could be changed, going down to Houston. Houston just beat up on San Francisco, who's having a surprisingly good year with all their injuries. But they're going to have a much tougher task going to Houston this week. And I think I've already seen it on the text line here that people are going to reserve judgment until after a game like that.
Yeah, to me, it's what's the rush in crowning him, the franchise quarterback of the Broncos. To me, when the organization is so confident in that, that's when they give him the contract. And you haven't seen them give him a contract extension because they don't need to at this point. Let him play out this season. You can let him play out next season, and then you can make that kind of decision. So I know this is Sports Talk Radio, and we're having fun with it, but to me, it's just there's no rush to crown him this title.
And I'm not even trying to say that he's like looking over his shoulder or that there's any fear of being like put aside onto the bench or anything. That's not what it is, because this is Sean Payton's guy. I mean, 100%. Like, he will defend him through and through, and he'll even try and put him in positions to have much more, beneficial-looking stats, I think, is some of the questionable calls that he's made late in games. So, I don't know. I think it's interesting, the ups and downs of an NFL season, where we sit, and obviously the Broncos rule this town, so when they play well, everything's great. When you roll into work on Monday and they just beat the Cowboys by 20, things are good. When you win 13-11 against a terrible Jets football team, people are pretty angry for most or half the week. So, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. We'll review some of those texts that came across on the RamosLaw.com text line at the beginning of the next segment. We also we will have the Scrappy one on with us because I want to get his – he's going full, pushing all of his chips in, saying Prime needs to go. So we'll do that in the second segment. But I do want to change gears a little bit, Dante. You're a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy. Last night, the World Series goes 18 innings. You got 2 for the price of 1. The Dodgers end up with Mr. Clutch again, 2 years in a row, having a walk-off win in the World Series for Freddie Freeman. But that's not really a lot of the story. Not a lot of people. I don't think enough people are talking about Freddie Freeman, what he did last night, because of what happened with Shohei Ohtani. He gets 2 doubles, 2 bombs, and then he was walked 5 times. I think 4 of the times were intentional. The last one, I think they just kind of pitched around him. But something that's never happened before, and I heard you earlier today, and I don't know. I respect your take on this, but I don't know if I'm there yet, because I'm not even ready to say he's the best baseball player of all time. And you said during the drive today that you're not afraid to say that he might be the best athlete of all time. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I mean, what he does is incredible. We've never seen anybody do what he does. I'm not there yet, but I think he's in that conversation of Jordan himself and who did I put? Tiger Woods. I think he's in that conversation in terms of greatest athlete of all time overall. I think we need to see it more in the playoffs, but with an organization like the Dodgers that he's on, he's supposed to be in the playoffs every year. He's supposed to be competing for a World Series every year. So In baseball, your prime is so elongated compared to these other sports that we should see him win, I don't know, maybe another 3, 4, 5 World Series here. And at that point, I think it'd be very undeniable. But just in terms of, in a vacuum, what he does, he won the NLCS MVP off of one good game. His stats from that one game won him the entire series MVP.
Yeah,
because he had 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts on the mound.
Is that because we are a victim of the moment, that it's hyperbolic to kind of say? I mean, here's why I kind of push back on it. We're giving up over like 150 years of history just to be like, because we've never seen something like this before. We haven't seen it because nobody does it. Nobody allows pitchers to do this. They haven't allowed pitchers to. Name me another pitcher that was able to hit and still be in the starting rotation.
Every single pitcher up until 5 years ago, Cello, in the NL.
Specialized. Like Houston Street was a phenomenal baseball player at Texas. And he was a third baseman. He was a pitcher. The dude could hit. He was just an all-around good baseball player. When you got to the big leagues or after you get drafted, the fear of injury or losing out on an investment like in a high draft pick, it's strangled Major League Baseball for years. I kind of wonder if more and more people will, not more and more, because there's not that many people that are going to have that skill set. And I'm not trying to diminish how good Shohei is. He's phenomenal. He's one of the best pitchers in the game. He's easily in the discussion of being the best player in the game right now, if not the best player in the game. Now, I'm just not ready to go say of all time, because baseball they've been their own worst enemy. They've never let anybody do this. The only other guy that I can think of that did something similar was Rick Ankiel, and that's because he got the yips and he couldn't throw the ball anymore. So then they're like, oh, go ahead and move out to center field, and the dude could hit a little bit too. Nobody else has been afforded this opportunity.
Cello, he's the best hitter in baseball, and he's a top 10 pitcher in baseball. Nobody else is that capable at doing both jobs.
Yeah. There's some pushback there. Wait a minute. You just said best hitter and?
He's the best hitter in baseball and a top 10 pitcher in baseball.
I don't know that he's the best hitter in baseball.
Oh, Cello, get your Yankees shirt off.
And I'm not even just saying judge. I'm just saying, listen, man, up until last night, he wasn't into that one game you were talking about. Go back and look what Vlad Guerrero did in his playoff run up until this point. That dude's been phenomenal.
No, he's been great, but he's not Shohei Ohtani.
He doesn't pitch. That's for damn sure.
He also didn't get intentionally walked 5 times in a row last night.
Which worked.
Yeah, no, because he's so good that you had to. Even after his 3rd at-bat, people were saying, how are you pitching to this guy in his 4th at-bat? And then he hits another home run to tie the ball game, Cello.
Yeah. I'm not trying to listen, dude. What he did last night was phenomenal. But so is what Freddie Freeman did. I mean, he hits the home run.
I don't think they're particularly comparable.
He hit the double. I think he scored Shohei right after Shohei hit one of his doubles. Freddie goes down the line. Shohei scores. But, dude, walk-off home runs in consecutive World Series, I don't know that. I mean, that hasn't been done either. Nobody's talking about that.
I get that, but you're talking about Steve Kerr hitting the shot because they doubled Michael Jordan. They intentionally walked Shohei to get to Freddie. That's how much they respect Freddie and Mookie.
Well, more so probably Mookie, but yeah. I mean, is Shohei more dangerous than Freddie? Yeah, probably. I don't know if you would have said that in last year's World Series, but certainly this year. And going into that game last night, I don't think they feared him. I think after 2 games, they're like, we know what we're doing. And then Shohei made the adjustments, and it freaked the Blue Jays out. After 4 at-bats, I mean, you're giving up 2 bombs and 2 doubles. There's not much better than you can do through 4 at-bats. That's fine. He's great. He's a great player. I think it's still just early to say best of all. When you said best athlete of all time, I didn't even think of Michael Jordan. You could put up there because he actually went and tried to play baseball. Terry Francona is famous for saying you give him another 6 months to a year and he's probably in the big leagues. I don't know if that's true. We'll never know to find out. But as far as athletes are concerned, I'm thinking more of like our guy up in Boulder, Prime, being able to play at the highest level in football and baseball. And I think he was a pretty damn good basketball player. Bo Jackson, had he not got hurt, I mean, that's what I think of when I think overall athlete. And I don't know that, I'm not saying Shohei probably can't shoot a basketball or catch a football, but he's not doing both of those. This is just that single sport that he's being very, very dominant at.
No, I think that's fair. And when I mentioned Tiger Woods, obviously I don't think Tiger Woods is going to go out there and hit 300 in the World Series. I don't think Tiger Woods is going to be able to, shoot threes like Steph Curry. I'm talking about athlete in their respective sport. I get it. If you're talking about overall athlete, just in terms of athleticism, I would go with Bo Jackson. The ability to be a most likely Hall of Famer in 2 sports if he never got injured, to me, that's Bo Jackson. Easy, far and away. But in terms of what you mean to your sport and how dominant you are compared to the field of players you're playing against in that sport, I think it's Shohei.
And I would agree with you. Baseball, to me, is between that and golf is probably the most difficult sport to be consistently good at. And he's good at both. He's actually all around pretty damn good everywhere. He can run the bases pretty well. He can throw. He can hit. I'm sure if you asked him to, and maybe this happens later in his career, to go over to first base or maybe to like right field, I'm sure he could probably pull that off. The next question. All right, we see a little bit differently on that discussion. Did the World Series end last night? The Dodgers in that payroll and Shohei, or do we have to wait and see after a very late night, short turnaround? He's already on the bump tonight, that's something that's crazy to say.
He's already through the first inning.
Jeez.
Scoreless first.
So was that it? Was that obviously Zach brought up the numbers, the percentages. When you win Game 3, you go on to win the series 70% of the time.
It's good numbers, whoever came up with those.
Is that you?
It was me.
There you go. Dante came up with those numbers. The Mez came up with those numbers. So is it over?
No, not over. I mean, we're talking if the Blue Jays win today, it's 2-2. Totally new series at that point. It's best 2 out of 3, to wins, 5-6 or in games 5, 6, 7 there. So, I did it.
6, 7.
You got me, Cello. See, I actually, I hate that that's become a trend because now whenever I say it naturally, it instantly jumps in my head. But whatever. No, the series isn't over. No, not by a long shot. I think if they win tonight, definitely over. But baseball's a weird one where, any team can win on any given day. You go have a starter go out and, pitch a gem of 7-8 innings, and that'll put you right in the game. So the Blue Jays win today. It's like I said, it's a 2-2 series, and they have home field advantage at that point. They would have 2 of the remaining 3 games, or 3. Sorry, 2 of the remaining 3 games would be at home for the Blue Jays. So I think that would definitely equalize this series a little bit. So not over by a long shot. We were talking about the 2018 World Series. I think the Dodgers won that 18-inning game.
They did. Max Muncy walked them off.
And the Red Sox cruised to a victory in that World Series. It wasn't particularly close.
I'll ask you, so you get the late shift here. Did you watch the entirety of last night's game?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, every single pitch.
Dang, man.
Did you not stay up for it?
You sound like I kept dozing off. I kept dozing off to waking up to like the Dodgers hitting it to the warning track like 3 times.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Teoscar hit it that deep. Freddie did another one that was that deep. And I thought, oh, that's it. It's over. And then I kept dozing off. But I was awake for Freddie's game winner last night. So it's kind of sucks because we're envious here as baseball fans. We don't have other baseball to talk about here because, the product we have is just about, turnstiles, hot dogs, and beverages. So it stinks that you're not in that discussion, but Dante and I gave you a little bit there for a short time. So
quick,
go ahead.
Before we move on, have the Dodgers become more likable to you in the last 2 years? Because I have the take that I used to always hate the Dodgers for, my entire childhood. My team I was rooting for was in the NL West. The Dodgers are obviously in the NL West. Hated the Dodgers. The last 2 seasons, Shohei and Mookie and Freddie have made them so likable.
I think you're probably going to get 50-50 on that. To me, I'm with you. When I was growing up, I couldn't stand the Dodgers. I couldn't stand them. I think I probably started to turn through Clayton Kershaw's career, which, by the way, talk about a way to go. If that's the way he goes out, to come in and shut it down with bases juiced and get Lucas on it was ball 4, man. He would have walked in the go-ahead run, and he got him fooled on it. But anyways, I think I started to flip then, and my wife and I went out for a company function of hers, and we got to go to Dodger Stadium. I respect a fan base that loves baseball as much as like that fan base does. So when I got to see it up close and personal, I've been all right. Like I would probably be leaning towards the Blue Jays. I'm rooting interest right now just because I don't want to see back-to-back. I'd like to see a new champion, but if they're that good and they get it done for the first time since the Yankees did it back, I think, in 2000, 2001.
That was not 01.
Oh, was it?
I'll tell you that.
Oh, no, it was. Yeah, because you're damn D-bags. It was 99, 2000. Yes, it was your Luis Gonzalez who got the flare off Mo, and that was it. I got it. All right, coming up next, changing gears, we're going to invite the scrappy one in with us, talk about his take on what he thinks CU needs to do. I don't know what Dante's take is, but I think I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum as well. We'll do that next.
Broncos star Patrick Surtain suffered a pectoral strain in the win over the Cowboys. The reigning Defensive Player of the Year is expected to miss multiple weeks and is a candidate to be placed on injured reserve. With a pivotal stretch of games ahead, can Denver's secondary hold up without its best player? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project. Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy by being particular, just like you. 800-362-8370.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
Don't miss Colorado football's 2 remaining home games of the 2025 season. Celebrate homecoming with the Buffaloes as CU faces the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 1st. Then lock in your seats for Senior Day against the reigning Big 12 champs, Arizona State, on November 22nd. Great seats are still available at beautiful Folsom Field. Visit cubus.com/tickets or call 303-492-8282 and be there as Ralphie 7 leads the charge for your Colorado Buffaloes.
Be careful if you haven't filed taxes in a while. The IRS is going after non-filers like never before. Whether you have income taxes or payroll taxes that have not been filed, Advanced Tax Solutions can help you get back in the system and avoid trouble with the IRS before they show up or send you a scary letter. Call the people I trust, Advanced Tax Solutions. They'll help you get back into the system and off the IRS's radar. 303-753-6040 or visit advancedtaxsolutions.com.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens, the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from my friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season, so I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Go Broncos!
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
Back in Denver Sports Tonight here on 104.3 The Fan at RamosLaw.com. Text line 303-713-1043. We got Dante Gomez producing and co-hosting with me, Marcello Romano. We go out to our hotline, though, and bring in the scrappy one, Will Peterson. What's up, Will?
Hey, what's up, Cello? How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. I had to get you on because of your take on the situation up in Boulder, where you didn't mince any words today. You said it's over. The prime era is officially over in your eyes, and that the Buffs and CU should just part ways. Please explain, Will, because I don't think I'm there yet. I don't know where a lot of football fans in the state are, but tell me why.
Well, I mean, did you watch on Saturday night? They were down 43-0 at halftime to a quote-unquote rival. It was flat out embarrassing. This was the team coming off a bye week, and they weren't even competitive, Cello. And Deion's now 16-17 in his tenure at CU. He's a miserable 9-14 in conference play from the Pac-12 to the Big 12. And Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter aren't walking through that door to bail him out anytime soon. Does the athletic director, Rick George, care more about headlines and being on national TV, or does he care more about winning football? I'm just done. I'm done. 43-0 at halftime just has me absolutely out on this whole experiment. It's run its course. You know, I don't care that Warren Sapp and Marshall Falk were great football players. They're clearly not great coaches. And it just feels like at this point we're just hiring Deion's buddies, and that CU is way more about the hype than they are about the play on the field. And frankly, I think it's just run its course up in Boulder, and I think Rick George needs to make a change.
I feel like you're kind of falling victim of you didn't follow the 72-hour rule on this one, and I get it. How ugly it was on Saturday evening, just for the entire state. I think the entire state was outscored like 81-7 for CSU and CU in the pitiful performances on Saturday. But I will make this point. Number one, and it's an easy question. People ask it all the time. Well, if you're going to get rid of them, who are you going to get that's better? So hold on that retort real quick. But you're talking about a team that could have beat Georgia Tech, didn't know how to close, so they're pretty dang close. That's the 8th-ranked team in the nation right now. They also had a lead against the number 10 team in the nation in BYU. Couldn't close, but were very competitive in that game. The Utah game is an aberration. I'm with you. That was it was putrid. There's no defending it. They lost to Houston, which is the number 2 or the 22-ranked team in the nation. And then the Utah loss, also they're in the top 25. They just cracked it again after their big win against CU. They're the number 24 team in the nation. And the big win they had was against the number 22 team in the nation at the time in Iowa State. So it's like I think we we knew going into this season, or actually we didn't know. We didn't know what they were going to be. We didn't know if they were a 4-win team or if they could be flirting with double-digit wins. We had no clue. Obviously, we're getting the answers now that they're probably closer to the former in that 4-win team, but they're not. I get it. It was ugly on Saturday, but they have been competitive for the most part. And at some point or another, some of these players have to go out and make the plays when they're there. You can blame all you want on Utah against the coaching staff, which is fine. When you get beat down like that, somebody wasn't prepared. But for the rest of the season, they've still been in these games.
Yeah, but Cello, their wins are against Delaware and Wyoming, and then Iowa State. Like, you know, we got to storm the field. That was fun, right? But you've beaten Wyoming and Delaware. Like, is that good enough? Is that up to our standards? I think as Buffs fans, we need to demand more. And yes, Deion Sanders has been a nice shot in the arm to the program, and he's got him on ESPN, and he's got Folsom Field filled almost every single weekend. But at the end of the day, like, it's almost November, and we're talking about wins over Wyoming and Delaware and Iowa State as their win. Like you just told me, oh, well, they were competitive against Georgia Tech. Well, guess what? They couldn't finish. They were competitive about BYU, but guess what? They couldn't finish. Like, it just feels like it's year 3. We're supposed to be over a hump. We're not over a hump. He had 2 great players, his son and a guy he calls his other son in Travis Hunter, who won the Heisman Trophy. And other than that, they went 4-8 in 2023, and they're steamrolling toward another 4-8 record this year, or maybe even worse. So, do we like the headlines, or do we like winning football? That's kind of why I'm out on Deion Sanders at this point.
Hey, Will, Dante here. Just to supplement Cello's point here real quick, the teams that have beaten CU have a average record of 7-1. They're 35-5 between those. But where I actually wanted to ask you more about was, where do you come down on the buyout for Deion, and if Colorado's in a position to make a move by moving on from him, buying out his staff, and going out and hiring a new staff with, you know, this other money that doesn't quite exist yet? Do you think there's, 1, enough money to buy him out, and then 2, enough money to go out and hire the kind of coach you're looking for?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting question and consideration for sure, but at the end of the day, I'm just a fan of the program. I don't write the checks, so I'm not too worried about buyouts. Listen, Deion's made the Buffs a lot of money, and they could use some of that money to have him go away, if you will, along with the rest of his coaching staff. So, you know, it's not my check to cut. I understand why you're asking it, but I think these boosters probably care more about a winning football program than they do about headlines. And what is Deion doing right now? He's making headlines, sure, but he's not winning a heck of a lot of the games, other than an outstanding 2024, in which, by the way, they could have been in the Big 12 title game. They blew that opportunity. This just hasn't translated into winning, and I feel like there's so much lackluster, if you will, kind of people in Buffs Nation who are like, well, guess what? We get to play on ESPN. We get to play on Fox. We get to play on CBS. I don't care. I want to watch a winning football team. And at the end of the day, I think Rick George is probably kind of sick of the fact that this hasn't worked in 2 of 3 years. And is it not going to work next year? Are we just going to go down this road of 3 or 4 years it's not working? I think they can find the cash if needed, put it that way. But at the end of the day, it feels like the whole thing was fun and exciting and cool, but I'm over fun and exciting and cool. I'm ready for results, and the Buffs aren't producing that right now on the football field.
Okay, I think it'd be a little more difficult to come up with that cash, but that would just be my opinion. And more difficult, in my opinion, would to be, who's your replacement? As we look at the college football landscape, and I'm asking of my alma mater now too, like, who's going to be your replacement that can turn it around when the sport has changed so much over the years? And one of the guys spearheading that change was Prime himself, Will.
And real quick, Will, before you hop in there, would you agree at least that this is a bad hiring cycle to fire CU with all the great jobs that are out there?
Well, I mean, last time I checked, fellas, James Franklin is on the market. I think he'd look pretty good in black and gold. Mike Gundy's on the market. I think he'd look pretty good in black and gold. I'd call Urban Meyer. I'd call Nick Saban. Like, people don't understand that because you hired Deion Sanders, you can now get anyone to come to Colorado. Colorado's cool again. Colorado football was not cool when it was led by Carl Durrell, and I just gave you guys 4 names. So I think any of those 4 would be good, and I actually would challenge you, Dante, that I think it's a pretty good hiring cycle given the names I just threw out there. It feels like the Bucs can do so much better than this. And fellas, you can't go down 43-0 at halftime. Like we're not sort of properly amplifying the magnitude of what happened in Utah. That was embarrassing, and that's the kind of game that should cost people their jobs.
There you have it. That's about all the time we have, Will. Shucks.
You don't want to go back and forth with me anymore, Kelly?
No.
You're just a big Dion guy? You loving that 16-17 record?
Well, yeah, I mean, because of what they were prior. And listen, I'm not even a big CU fan. I love Prime when they got him. I was envious of it. And listen, I get there's a lot of shenanigans that go on with having him run your program. I just don't know that there's no quick fix here. Like if you say like they had the bad year in 2023 and turned it around in 2024, they're much more competitive, the Utah game aside, than I think a lot of people really even thought they were going to be up to this point, especially with some of those opponents. I'd say give it another year. Let's see what happens with the transfer portal this year. Now, if you start losing talent, if Jordan Seaton walks and then Juju walks and you're starting to lose players and not replacing them, then I think you have a valid point there, Will.
No, and I get that. I think that's fair. I kind of see the writing on the wall at this point. Again, Shedeur and Travis aren't walking through that door. I think they're going to be bad once again next year. And at the end of the day, we're kind of just burning time with this Deion Sanders experiment. And I'd love to see Rick George take another big swing, and I'd love to see him call James Franklin and see if something like that could happen.
Well, we appreciate it, my man.
All right, sounds good. Take care, fellas.
All right, buddy. Enjoy it. We got to get to a quick break. When we come back, Will, who normally covers the Avs, normally we'd talk to him about that, but I thought we had to get that conversation in. They have one tonight against, I think, a second of a back-to-back against the Devils, and we'll talk about the Nuggets and their start. Dante and I will give you our opinions, and that's next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Annuities, not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law on 303 Law 4040. Just got a great result for a client. Sam had another attorney who couldn't get her more than $20,000, so we took over the case and just settled it for $85,000. Another client, Travis, is like a lot of people. He likes doing business with a handshake in his word, not looking to sue anyone, but when the insurance company was playing hardball and refusing to even pay his medical bills, he called 303 Law 4040 and said, Dan, I hate to bug you, but they just aren't being fair. We took over the case, told the insurance company we would see them at trial, and they immediately more than quadrupled their offer, which was just fine in Travis's book. The insurance companies don't play fair. They aren't going to do the right thing out of the goodness of their hearts, so you don't ever have to feel guilty when calling 303 Law 4040. If you've been injured, we'll make them pay what's fair. And as always, you always talk directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. So save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
A friend asked me the other day why I loved being in the diamond and jewelry business so much. I'm Shayna Williams.
And I'm Dylan Williams from Williams Jewelers. It's not just about shiny rocks, precious metals, and meticulous craftsmanship from the world's very best.
It's really about you.
It's your life and loves. It's about your moments and the ones that define you.
It's the birthdays, the anniversaries, the birth of a child. It's when you're on one knee asking the love of your life to spend forever together with you.
For 3 generations now here in Denver, you've trusted Williams Jewelers with the most important moments in your life.
That's what's precious to us.
And why we love what we do here at Williams Jewelers every day.
You see, our why is you.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. In Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue, and right now online at WilliamsDiamonds.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Roller Auctions.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
Final segment here on Denver Sports Tonight, 104.3 The Fan. It's Dante Gomez behind the glass and co-hosting with me, Marcello Romano, and yourself on the text line, which has been very busy this evening, at 303-713-1043. That's the RamosLaw.com text line. We changed gears. We talked Broncos. We talked the World Series. We talked Shohei Ohtani. We talked Prime and his tenure up in Boulder. Changing gears, we'll do a little round ball, and then we'll hit the ice with the Avalanche, who welcome in the New Jersey Devils tonight after losing in, was it overtime the other day or shootout to the Devils?
I think it was just overtime.
Just overtime. And our guy, Mackenzie Blackwood, is actually, I mean, he's not playing tonight, but he will serve as the backup behind Mr. Wedgwood, who had a pretty strong start but has been a little porous of late. I think the Avalanche, as far as the way that they started, we'll get into them and
the reality of them being a title contender. The Denver Nuggets, though, on the other hand, finally get a streak broken last night, and they beat their nemesis in the Timberwolves. Now, it was without Anthony Edwards, but what you got to like through 3 games is Jamal Murray and his approach to this season. I've always kind of said this, Dante, that Jamal Murray's one of those guys, like, he can't be pushed into doing anything. He does it on his time. I always compare it to be like, hey, you're not my dad, Dennis. Don't tell me to take out the trash. I'll take it out when I'm ready. And I think he made a big point of that last year with the UFC comments and just showing up not quite in shape. It's a completely different Jamal Murray through 3 games this year, and Nikola Jokic said it as much last night, that he showed up in shape and he's ready to go, and they don't win without him last night. I think he had 43 last night. The Jokers had a pretty good start, save for game 1. They probably win that game 1 if Joker's more like Joker. They didn't, and they wasted a big performance from Aaron Gordon. The big question I have for you, and I heard you guys talking about it on the drive, is Cam Johnson. I mean, a lot of people had that as their big free agency kind of pickup, or the trade for Michael Porter Jr. to get him in the offseason, that he was the best addition to this team. I've always kind of said, going back to July, that I think it was more so like Tim Hardaway Jr., but Cam Johnson just doesn't seem like there's not much different there. He's getting those same open looks that Michael Jr. Porter had, and he's not making them either. At least MPJ was streaky. We haven't even seen a streak yet.
Well,
it's 3 games, but still. Give me your thoughts.
Well, I would say I think we got to give Cam Johnson some time. I think he's in a really tough position, getting thrown in there with 4 starters that have played a lot of minutes together over the last 2-3 years here. So I think it's tough for him. At this point, I would be looking for sparks of, hey, he had 25 in this game. Oh, he had 24 in this game. But I think it's really hard to count on him being consistent at this point. I think we need to wait until maybe after the new year, after Christmas. Give him some time to, get in the flow of the offense, find his footing, and find out where he's supposed to be. I get that you can be kind of walking on eggshells while you get thrust into a NBA championship kind of starting rotation here. So I would say put the brakes on that. Give him a little bit of time to find his place on the team. I also want to add that when people are talking about how big of a move it was bringing Cam Johnson in here, I think that part of that move was being able to allow yourself financial flexibility to sign Christian Brown to extension, to trade for Jonas Valanciunas as well here. So I think those are also part of that Cam Johnson move. It wasn't just Cam Johnson for MPJ straight up.
No, I mean, but a lot of people look at it. I get what you're saying, but a lot of people look at it like you're losing that piece and you're getting a better, what we thought was more consistent type of a player. And I get it. It's 3 games. I totally understand. The problem is, and I think Zach mentioned it at the end of the drive, was he's banged up now. So, like, you're throwing that on top of trying to fit in. I don't know that he doesn't know where to be. It's just he doesn't seem like he's in a groove yet.
Well, you don't know when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. I think that's more, not like the literal placement on the court, but is it like, every NBA team has this guy's going to shoot.
MPJ had that problem, right? Too. Like, he'd start straight. It wasn't until like last year, really, that once he started getting going, that they were like, okay, keep shooting.
I feel like MPJ kind of had the green light of, hey, if you're open at the 3-point line, shoot it. And I don't know if Cam Johnson has that same confidence within this offense quite yet.
Yeah, it could take some time, but after 3 games, and I think a lot of people have said that, and Will and I talked about it last week, and I said it back in the summer on a digital show that this literally could be title town come 2026, and these 2 teams that call Ball Arena home, I mean, they're up there with the likes. I think the Avalanche are the favorite. The Nuggets, other than Oklahoma City, give me someone that's going to contend with them as long as they stay healthy. It's a great start. I mean, listen, nobody really pays attention to October, November basketball. You got to be a complete diehard to do that. And maybe even so much as far as like the Avalanche are concerned too. You get the idea, like, I think the Avalanche could be more dominant. I don't know that I really want them to. When Will and I were walking last week, we were talking about who wins the President's Trophy and how many times have they been knocked out early in the postseason. That would be devastating for a team like this. So just kind of mind your business. I think the exciting thing is, like, right now, obviously, we're dominated by Broncos, and the NFL is king. I'm not going to argue that. But you have two teams here, like, gosh, if only the Rockies actually gave a crap about trying to put a competitive product out there, you'd have a pretty awesome sports town. We got to call it a night. Dante, thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you guys out there for participating. For Dante Gomez, this is Marcello Romano. You've been listening to Denver Sports Tonight here on 104.3 The Fan.
The Broncos followed up their magical finish last week with a dominating win over the Cowboys. Have Sean Payton and Bo Nix finally shown what Denver's offense is truly capable of? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
For many of us, it's happened before. Your hair is thinning, crowns disappearing. Maybe the hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. The solution that worked for me, it's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to world-class Dr. Tanya Paul's, it's not maybe your hair will regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's why